Okay, we are good. I don't know what just happened. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Society podcast. I don't know what just happened. That was some technical difficulties. Apologize about that. We are good and up and running now. If y'all want to check that real quick, Bear, just to make sure, or Clay. Okay, good, sweet. Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Society podcast. As always, my two favorite co-hosts, Professor Barracuda Clayton, and we are back today. If you watched our last episode, we had a great time talking about AEW Revolution, which was their last pay-per-view that came out that night, actually. And today, I wrote down what everybody's predictions were. I got it all down. So we're gonna sit and talk about the pay per view. We're gonna talk about the pay per view. We're gonna go through the matches, what we thought about it, all that other good stuff. And then we'll kind of after that, we got time. We'll just kind of talk about Monday Night Raw. But um, I'm just gonna go ahead and say right now, this was one of their best pay per views I've ever seen from them, like ever in the history of AEW. Man, the matches that we were talking about, we were very that were like, I don't know, it's on there, but I don't know. Why did they blow me away? you know,
Bro, I'm saying like every match was good.
Yeah.
exactly. There was one match that was the weakest, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. That surprised me. I didn't think it was going to be the weakest at all, but
Yeah, I think I know which one you're
I,
talking
I,
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we all know which ones I'm talking about. But
Wait a minute. Before we start anything,
okay.
give the bear his props. Give it to me. I told you.
Hey, we'll get there.
I'm just
I don't
saying.
I don't want to give any flowers yet.
Look, I
Uh,
don't like flowers. I like honey anyway. So
dude, look, man. I'm just saying. Either way, that was a great pay per view. All right,
yeah, it was.
that really was a great pay per view. Um, if you watched last week, we the match order was obviously wrong. So I'm very sorry for anybody watching because I know for a fact somebody was watching our episode last week and they went on to watch the pay per view and they're like, "Damn, those guys suck." They didn't know what they were talking about. Sorry, okay? I'm just getting it from the internet. And I thought it was right because I got it from the website who literally, streams the damn thing. Okay? Bleacher Report gave me my stuff. Okay, I apologize for that. So honestly, I kind of know the match order by memory, but the thing that I have written down from last week is the one I did. So we're just gonna go off of that.
I have
But
the match order pulled up if you want.
yeah, that's fine. I know.
However you want to do it, bro. I got you if you need it.
You know what? I'm gonna try to go by memory, and if I get it wrong, just tell me, okay? um, but before we talk about any matches, I don't want y'all to say anything about any matches. Just tell me right now, how was the pay per view? What y'all think about it?
Go
Bear?
ahead, Clay.
Oh, me? Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I loved it. Like there was a few matches that I thought were going to not be interesting to me. I'll be flat out honest. I thought Hangman Page and John Moxley was going to be a snooze fest for me because
Wow. Wow.
just because it's like I'm tired of it. Like I didn't really care. I didn't have any interest going into it. But man, that was a hell of a match. That was a hell of a match. I loved it. But still, not really my particular style of wrestling. Like I never really got super into the deathmatch style of wrestling, but man, that match blew me away. I mean, the House of Black Elite match. What can you even say? Like literally, what can you even say? I mean, just every match was so good. Even the Jungle Boy, the Jack Perry Christian Cage
Don't worry.
match,
I
the
got some stuff to
storytelling
say.
in
I
that
got some
was
stuff
like,
to say about that match as well.
like I could keep going, but we'll get into it. But
Yeah,
bro,
we'll
top
get into
tier,
it.
like you said, probably if not the best, one of the best
It's top.
AEW pay per views.
It's up there. It's definitely top. It's honestly it's top three pay per views of
Mhm.
AEW's ever done. In my opinion, it
Mhm.
was awesome. Um,
Yeah, from top to bottom, he I could sit and argue with anybody about that being number one. It,
Yeah.
it, there was no lag to anything. When you thought, okay, I can, I wasn't expecting that. I'm gonna calm down. It just picked up and kept rolling,
Yep.
and that's what I enjoy. Where no matter us guys who think we're wrestling smart and know everything, it had me guessing, and that's where I love to be when I watch a wrestling show. I don't want to be able to just call it out. I want to doubt myself, my thoughts, and wow, that's what I love about AEW. People talk about it. And another thing I have to get into without any spoilers, it was a great amount of matches, the time,
Yeah.
everything just meshed so well. It's like Tony Khan heard everybody's complaint and tried to do better at it. And I think, like I said, like you said, one hell of a pay per view. If all pay per views could be like that, hell, I hate to even say it, but hell, they may even get money out of me.
Um. Well, here's a big thing that I just want to talk about real quick. And this is why I really really like this. Um. I somebody brought it to my attention the day after the pay per view went on the air, and I was like, man, that's a really good point. Um, WWE should take notes. I'm not saying that in like I'm not bashing any company or anything. We don't do that. We like all companies, but this is what they should take notes on. Look at all the winners of the matches. Don't quote me on this, everybody. I know how people are, but the people who won, most of them were in their 20s. These are new guys that they're putting out there on the map. These are new, young wrestlers that they're putting up and giving the spotlight to. Ricky Starks, MJF, Wardlow. I mean,
The guns.
the guns. These guys are young guys who have never really had the spotlight that they've been getting from AEW, especially at that pay per view. I mean, it's an and I know there's other people, and somebody had the ages written down and everything, but man, I was like, damn, that's a really good point, because the thing with AEW is they have those young guys and they're building the story and building it up. So now if you take, let's say you just take Ricky Starks. He gets that huge win at Revolution. Next thing you know, he goes on and actually beats MJF. This is just a fantasy. Let's say he goes on to beat MJF and is actually the champion. Has a good run for the next couple years. Boom, he leaves, goes to WWE. Huge pop when he gets there. That's called a young talent. Because, and props to AEW for doing that. Really, props to them, because WWE has been having some problems with that in the past couple years, with Goldberg and all these other guys. Hopefully they're gonna do right by Theory, which I know they will. Make him a star that he needs to be for WrestleMania, but. And this is another thing. I'm gonna be completely honest. Actually, before I say this, we talk about this all the time. Everybody who hates on AEW for some odd reason, or here's the best point: people who hate on AEW because they're washed up WWE stars. That pay per view proved that it's not. I mean, look at all those guys, homegrown talents, young guys. I mean. If it was all WWE superstars winning the whole pay per view, okay, yeah, I could be like, dang, that doesn't look too good, but it's not. I mean, it's all homegrown young talent, and props to AEW. But everybody who, like I said, is hating on AEW for this, and that, and blah 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 blah, do yourself a favor and just go watch that pay per view. That's all I ask from you. We've been saying this all the time. Me and Bear talked about this specifically on a podcast. If you don't like Dynamite, fine. Just go watch one of their pay-per-views. Just one. for some, their pay-per-views blow it out of the water every time. And I'm not even surprised this pay-per-view did this good, because that's how they are. I'm not surprised. I knew it was going to be good. I was ready to sit down and watch it. I was like, man, this is going to be a good pay-per-view. And it was better than I thought. I thought it was going to be like, man, this is awesome. Now we're sitting here talking about it may be the best pay-per-view they've ever done. That's insane to me.
And that's honestly saying something too,
Dude,
considering.
Yeah.
exactly. And that's what I'm saying. So, look, I understand people don't like certain companies for certain reasons, but if you like wrestling, man, or if you just give it a shot, just watch that pay-per-view. If I could honestly recommend any pay-per-view to them, I would recommend Revolution.
100%.
110%, because of how good it was. And I mean, if I were to pick any pay-per-view from last year from WWE or that Revolution, I'd pick Revolution, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not trying to start no argument with nobody out there watching this, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm enjoying AEW right now than I am WWE, and that's just the way it is. WWE. I'm not saying WWE sucks. They don't. They're doing good, but they're missing something. They're missing. They're missing like the climax, if that makes sense. AEW has had problems in the past building up stories. We know that. They've gotten better at it, but they do have, sometimes like, okay, like the Christian Cage and Jungle Boy. Why was that stretched out so long? That was a bad call for them. But what did they do right? The match. They did the match perfect. They did the ending perfectly. All these stories that have been like wishy-washy have been coming to a huge conclusion. The main part of wrestling, the matches. WWE will put on great stories, but the matches are like, damn, that wasn't that good. Or they'll just not do anything. Like Ronda Rousey and Shotzi, for example, at Extreme Rules. No story, terrible match. What's the point of this? That's what I'm getting at. AEW right now is ahead in the climax finish. I can almost guarantee that WrestleMania will have good finishes to some of these stories, because it's WrestleMania. It's going to be in Hollywood. It's going to be a big thing. But AEW is really capitalizing on it right now, and props to them. Props to them. Props to them. But enough of that. I just had to say that because that was just that they're doing something right. And I hope nothing changes, because seriously, if every pay-per-view, like Bear said, if every pay-per-view, every pay-per-view has been good, but if they're all competing for number one spot like that, they may start getting a lot more people's money, a lot more people, because that was a good pay-per-view. But let's go ahead and jump into the pay-per-view. So, as most of y'all know, the Blackpool Combat Club and Dark Order did not happen in this pay-per-view. It was scheduled for the pre-show. It did not happen. They had one pre-show match, which was Mark Briscoe and Lucha Brothers, and then the Varsity Athletes, and then Davari. We knew the outcome. We all talked about the Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers. It was a great match, though. It was a great way to get people up and on their feet, because they were all chanting, for the Lucha Brothers, and then they were chanting for Mark Briscoe, and it was a really great way to get people on their feet. And they kept people alive during the whole pre-show with Renee Paquette standing out on the floor and talking to some people. Like when Britt Baker came out there, the place went crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or what's his name? I just forgot his name.
RJ City.
Yes, and he was exactly. That I like that. They keep them going, they keep people involved. And I like how
it was different.
Yes, and I liked how she was on the floor. You saw everybody in the back walking past and looking and stuff.
Yeah.
They want to be there. So they were like, people were looking at that. They're like, oh man, we got to hurry and get to our seats. We're going to be on TV. Dude, AEW's not stupid, Props on Tony Khan for that, though. I like that. It was different. We went to the back with the interviews, and then we went on the floor with Renee Paquette, and it was different. I liked it. But that was the pre-show match. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was a great way to get people going. And
Better than I thought.
yes,
Better than I thought.
yes, exactly.
I got to give props to not only the Lucha Brothers and Mark, but man, the varsity athlete and dang, can't remember his name. I apologize. Man, they put on a great match. They made me actually care about the match, which is something. It's always good when you're just like, oh, not this match, but they can actually suck you in to caring, especially a pre-show match too, because a
Mm.
lot of times you don't put a lot of energy into it, and all six men went out there and did a hell of a job.
Well, it's funny because I was actually really interested in that match because Lucha Bros are one of my favorite tag teams currently. But Josh Woods, that match he had on the first episode of Ring of Honor against who was it, Takeshita, right? And
Yes,
Yep.
that match sold me on him. So I was like, as soon as I saw his name on that list, I was like, this is going to be a good match, and I wanted to watch it. And like I said, it impressed for sure. Being a pre-show match didn't matter. They went out there and did their thing.
Yeah,
yeah, I love Josh Woods, especially from his Ring of Days. He was a pure champion, and I knew he could do good things. And man, he's just been killing it. And like I said, to the point of making me care. Like, oh crap, I don't have to. Whoa, let me stop doing this. Let me pay attention. This is
Mm.
oh hell.
yeah. Um, it was a good free show. Like I said, good way to hook people in. But after that, the show started off with kind of a bang. Now I may be wrong here. Okay, Clayton. What it was it the was it Jungle Boy or Jericho match first? Jungle Boy.
Jericho.
Oh, Jericho. It was a Jericho
Check
match.
on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. That's right. Um, I couldn't because I remember vividly seeing Jericho's entrance, and I just didn't remember if that was before or after. Okay, so the Chris Jericho match, we all knew Ricky Stark was gonna win. I mean, Jericho proved what we said. He puts people over. That's what he does now. I mean, he's a sports entertainer. He goes out there every time and he entertains, and that's what he did. It was a great match. That match really proved that Ricky Starks is a superstar, and he is. He just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing every time he goes out there. Um, and man, I I enjoyed the match. It was a great opener. Jericho is Jericho. I mean, that's to really say he could win 1,000 times. He could win 1,000 times a week, lose 1,000 times. It's not going to change him because he is who he is. I mean,
Yeah.
he can be argued in the goat conversation if you really wanted to. Um, but Ricky Starks, man, he is just flying. I enjoy watching him. I every time he does that damn move where he walks on the rope and
I love that, dude.
and
I do too.
he looks like Michael Jackson on there. Every time he does that, anytime I'm watching it with somebody or I'm watching it with my girl, I'll be like, look, 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 he's doing it, he's doing it. And it's just like, he's so entertaining, man, and he's
Yeah.
great on the mic. He's so good. But yeah, no, I mean, we all said Ricky Starks because it was, I mean, we kind of knew how that story was going, but it's also good for him. It helped him a lot. It was another great match by Jericho, um, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought for another match that I was not necessarily looking forward to, they hooked me in. Um, did what they could have and should have did. Get Ricky over. Let Ricky do his thing. He needed a big pay per view win, and especially a quality win against Jericho was great. It's going to help him stay in that range where he could be a main eventer. Um, and It's what can you say? And to be truthful, I am not that big of a Jericho fan, but I respect him and I love his work. I'm just not a Jericho fan. But with all that being said, something has got to be wrong with you if you don't respect the hell out of him
No,
because he can reinvent himself, get himself over, get his opponent over. What he wants out that crowd, he can do. He I always put him on the plane of Triple H. Whatever their mindset is, when they go in front of that crowd, it'll happen.
yeah, I don't think I've ever met a person that I've met people who don't like Jericho, but I've never met a person who doesn't respect him because of everything he's done for the wrestling world. I mean, from AEW to WWE to New Japan.
WCW.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
WCW. And man, I personally love Chris Jericho. I think he's one of the greatest. I just love every time he goes out there. He runs his mouth and he's so cocky, and he just has that. He has that swagger. um, and not just right now. I mean, he's always had that his whole career,
Mhm.
and that's why I'm such a fan of him. He just has that. You just look at he's like one of the guys you see in movies. You're like, man, I want to be him, and people dress up as him for Halloween and stuff like that because he's the type of guy who has just the cockiness and the swagger and all that. But no, it was a great way to open the match because anytime Chris Jericho's on the screen, I feel like most people look because it's Chris Jericho. Plus, they want to sing his song. So, but the match,
Yeah, that's always fun.
yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Oh, when I finally did that in person,
I feel it.
I felt like my life was complete when I finally got when I but the second match was probably the most surprising match of the night for me. Was the final burial match between Christian Cage and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Um, we all said Jack Perry. We kind of knew. I mean, a great way to end the story. But holy hell, that really caught me off guard. Because I'll admit, I mean, if anybody's seen it, you can go watch the last episode. We knew we could all take the blame for this. We were talking a little down on that match,
Hmm.
and I was very surprised. I mean, I even texted y'all when the match was going. I was like, "What is going on?" I mean, I thought
Oh
I,
yeah.
I thought the match was gonna last maybe 2-3 minutes, and then boom, there you go, some type of something cinematic or something. They went out there and they actually had a great wrestling match. Great false finishes, like when Jungle Boy got put in there and he get open
Hmm.
in, and he put his arm out, and wow. It really was a great match. I mean, Jungle Boy putting the shovel in Christian Cage's mouth and doing the submission to make him um, pass out or man, I really did enjoy that match, and that was the most surprising match of the night for me. I mean, it lasted a good 15 minutes at least. I mean, they were fighting in the crowd, they were fighting in the ring, on the ramp, and they were fighting all over the dirt at the top. Um, Christian hit his finisher to Jungle Boy at the top on the dirt, and then he hit him with the concerto, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. Um,
Um, I tell you what I loved about it. Like you said, it was a wrestling match. They told a story,
yeah,
and
Hmm.
I was so shocked by that. I'm like, holy crap! Okay, okay, I think where you going with it.
with the
Okay,
family, I forgot about that. Where Christian kept
yeah.
going up to his family and bad talking him, and just good old Christian being Christian heel.
It,
I mean,
man, that's what I was gonna say too. Man, that's a person who really does not get enough props of
oh
his work. Is
hell
Christian.
no, yeah, hell no.
100%.
Christian is such a great worker. If they would give him as much props as they do Edge, it, he deserves it. God Almighty, he's a talker, and his work just speaks for itself.
I can agree with that. Christian gets no props. I mean, I'm talking about zero. I mean, he gets anytime anybody's talking about wrestling, it is rare for somebody to bring up Christian and talk about how good he's done, and that really does suck because uh that last pay per view proved when he is a heel, damn, oh man,
Hmm.
oh he is good. And it was a good match, but one thing that I texted y'all that I thought was interesting is this the end for Jungle Boy gimmick? You think this is it? I
I mean, they've been teasing it for a while now. They've been working Jack Perry in more and more and more. And I mean, it makes sense to change it now that he's not, there's no Jurassic Express. He's not with Luchasaurus. I mean, it
well,
makes sense.
not. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. I feel like that's why. Obviously, not just the whole he came out in the jeans and stuff, but um,
He still had those shoes on though.
yeah, and that's what another thing. I was like, why is he wearing the shoes still? But
Like, I know he should have
but
worn like boots or
the match
something.
was called Final Burial, and the whole feud that happened with Christian involved Luchasaurus, and this feud
Mm.
was put to rest. I feel like what they're also saying. I could just be stretching this huge, but Final Burial for not only Christian the feud, but Final Burial for the Jungle Boy gimmick. Um, I mean, I definitely think it's just gonna be Jack Perry now, but I don't know.
I can see it.
I
And
wouldn't
then
mind it.
and then look at it like this too. Jim Ross is the one that's gotten Jack Perry over because he's the one that started calling him Jack Perry on the air and kept referring to him as Jack Perry. And I think that his intent was not to be able to make it on his own and not having people think, well, you're in this spot because of your father. And and surprising to me, a lot of people didn't even know that was his father. So he's made a name for himself, and I think it's just gonna grow. He's gonna continue growing.
Yeah. Um, but that match was definitely the most surprising for me for the night, and it was really really good. Um, just another match that really kept people hooked, and I enjoyed that. But let's see. Anything else to really add about that match?
Not a
Uh,
whole lot to say. I mean, it was, in my opinion, probably it, best or second best storytelling match of the night.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I,
definitely.
I agree with you. I
Yeah.
would stop doubting Christian's ability, and it wasn't a slot at Christian or Jungle Boy. It was just like you said, the story had went so long, but they couldn't help it too. When you get injured, you got to be able to pivot, move, and everything. But without a doubt, that was the best told ending to a story in quite a while.
Well, so far we got all the matches correct, but this next match, and I know for a fact this is the next match, Clayton, the trios championship match.
Yeah, I know. I got it wrong.
so
I
so
will say, I at least I did want House of Black to
yeah,
win, so
yeah,
I'm
I'll
glad
give
they
you
won.
Yes,
credit.
you did. Yes, you did.
Now, if I remember correctly, Bear was very back and forth with this decision.
I was.
And I didn't think you were gonna choose House of Black. I thought you were gonna go with Elite, honestly. But dude, okay, this was my favorite match of the night. I can say that. I really enjoyed this match. I really did. Um, the House of Black's entrance was awesome.
Mhm.
The Elite coming out as always will be awesome to carry on my wayward son. I mean, there's no arguing about that. But Dude, we already talked about it last week of why House of Black needed gold. So I'm not even going to get into that. But I know how, you know, the Elite are. Like, you know, I really had a strong feeling that they were going to win. And there was a couple times in that match where I was like, the match is over. The Elite won. And then they kick out, and I was like, oh my gosh, the match is still going. And then when they kicked, or I don't remember what happened to Julia Hart, but she got hit or something and flew off.
Yeah, the knee strike.
The knee strike, yes. Kenny Omega hit her with the knee. And I was like, oh my. And the second...
The best...
Oh,
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
But the best part about that was Kenny Omega just shrugging off.
Yeah, he was like,
oh, well.
yeah.
I love that.
Dude,
yeah.
The second that the Young Bucks were out of the ring and I saw, I don't remember who it was who did, I hate to say it, but I don't remember who it was who did the final pin. But one of them was in the ring, and then the other two came back, and they hit the finisher, and I was like, this match actually may be over. And when they hit the 1, 2, 3, I don't usually jump up and like, oh, for a match ending anymore, but I jumped off my couch, and I let out a pretty good scream, man. I'm not gonna lie. And oh, man. I was so excited when they won. I did not see it coming. I wanted them to win, but I honestly didn't see it coming. And
I tell you, that made me, if the pay-per-view would have ended right there, I'd have been okay.
hey,
I feel it.
I could agree with that.
Man, they did. Man, just the back and forth. And I guess, too, where when you do the false finishes, they can be overly done. They can be sorely done. They were just perfect where I honestly bought into them so many times. Yeah. I felt ashamed of myself.
I can agree with you. There's probably about 2 or 3 times I was like, the match is over. And it didn't end. And I was like, what? And
yeah, what else can they do?
Honestly, AEW for some reason gets me a lot. I'm not going to say a lot. Like, I mean a lot on especially pay-per-views. They get me more than it should. And I can't believe I'm saying that out loud on air for people to actually come back and listen to this. But I'm going to be honest. AEW gets me a lot with the false finishes. WWE, I can't remember the last time they got me. No, I take that back. There was one time I got a little shaken up and I was like, oh my gosh, is this going to be it? And it was the Roman Reigns and Logan Paul match. Logan Paul hit him with the fist and I was like, Logan Paul's going to win. And obviously he didn't win, but for some reason that got me. But AEW gets me quite a bit, man. And that match proved it. I didn't see that coming.
So I got to say this. Brady says he wants the Elite versus Bloodline before he dies. I do too.
I wouldn't be upset.
Oh, man. I could just imagine what kind of one hell of a match there.
That'd be crazy, man. I mean, wow.
Who would you pick?
The Elite.
Woo!
I gotta go with Omega. I mean, I love Kenny, man. I
love Kenny, but it's just something about that tribal chief.
That's what I'm saying. I love Kenny, but I don't know, bro. If both in their prime, like
Kenny,
I don't know, bro. That would be tough,
bro. I can't. The thing about Roman is I like Roman, but he's got something Kenny's got something that he doesn't. Kenny can really move and jump around. Roman, okay, I know Roman can do it, but when do you ever see Roman doing that? Like the Terminator. The Terminator. You gotta think Roman's gonna hit a Terminator? Come on. Kenny
So,
Omega.
That is
Kenny
a
Omega's
really
got
that's
a
a good point.
big
But
move set. A big move set.
yes, but Roman gets up to his competitor
That
when hit, and that is the God honest truth. Because when did you think that Roman could wrestle with Daniel Bryanson when they had their match and he made Bryan look like crap? I'm just saying.
uh,
But again, that's WWE. That's WWE booking and different things. I'm just saying.
hey, Brady made a good point. Nobody kicks out of the one wing angel. How many kick out of Roman's finish?
Yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, but how many times is Roman gonna let him get him up on his
How
shoulder?
many times does Roman
He's the
Reigns?
hey,
How many times does Roman Reigns leave the ring at the beginning of the match because he gets a little upset and nervous? Kenny Omega's just gonna follow him out with a Terminator, man.
that's the tribal chief's gimmick.
Dude,
Don't
hey,
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 look, I'm gonna end it
oh,
like this. I'm gonna end it like this.
hey, it's funny you say that because I was gonna end it like this. This would be the one time the bloodlines the twos and the elites are the ones. That, I'm serious.
Dang.
I would pick if they
Dang.
fought tomorrow. I would pick the elite.
You're lucky
Hey,
Stephanie ain't here, bro.
man.
Should be
Oh, and
lighting you up.
Like Rusty said, the elite is overrated.
I don't know about
No,
all
you're
that.
crazy.
I don't know about all that.
Hell no.
I love the elite.
Dude, bro, I'm not even gonna get to that.
Look.
Kenny Omega
Like,
is the man. Okay,
okay,
Until the Bloodline has their own YouTube series named after them that comes out weekly with its own championship defended on there, I don't want to hear it.
I don't care about being the tribal chief. Is he the belt collector? No,
Mm.
no.
if they would let him out to WWE, but that's another story. Let's get back into it.
Nah, that was a good match though, man. I really did enjoy it. I actually went back and that was the one match I rewatched. I could rewatch the whole pay per view because it was so good, but I have already rewatched the trios match because man, that was a really good match.
And I will say this: if y'all do not get Aleister Black to the World Championship title contendership, man, I'm gonna start hating AEW. Oh my God, they don't do enough with Aleister. Jesus,
Man. Yeah. I mean, there's so much to say about this match, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Right now, me and Bear got 3 matches in the book. Well, I'm not counting the pre-show. I'm just counting the main card. So it's me, Bear got 3 matches right. Clayton, you're sitting at 2.
2-1.
But to be fair, you did want the House of Black to win, but you're going with the good old wrestling way. And honestly, I thought the same thing. I was like, nah, Elite's gonna win, dude.
I will say there was a couple of times I really thought.
No, seriously, I don't.
oh yeah,
I don't get jumped a lot, but that jumped me at least 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, what the hell? Oh my gosh. It was a great match, honestly. I mean, it was just a great match.
yeah, it was.
It really was. I mean, does anybody else want to kind of put their input on in it? Because I think I've said all I need to say about that match.
Best match of the night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Now the next match, I do know the next match. It's the Women's World Championship, isn't it? Okay, I do remember that. So, Bear, ouch.
Well, before let's be. I told y'all. I said now. I told you.
I know.
I said now. I said that I was going with a heart pick. It made more sense for her to keep her title, but I was gonna pick Ruby just because I was going with my heart, and I knew I probably wasn't gonna get it right. Did I not?
I feel
Hey,
it.
that's true. But something else did happen after the match that involved Ruby Soho.
Which made up for it.
Yeah, so Jamie Hayter obviously won. She beat Saraya and Ruby Soho. After the match, Ruby Soho turned and joined Saraya, and then they proceeded to spray paint Hayter and Britt Baker. Honestly, I thought I liked the ending. And I'm gonna say this right now. I like Ruby Soho a lot, especially as that the baby face. But that promo she just did on Dynamite as the heel, where she went off on the fans telling them it's their fault and stuff. You can't get much better than that.
Yeah.
I'm man.
I really thought, honestly, when she turned heel, I was like, how is that gonna work? When on Wednesday, not Wednesday, on Sunday, when with the pay per view, I was like, okay, I guess, but she was a good baby face. That went right out the window on Wednesday, because that promo, holy hell, that you when you do that as a heel with saying what she said, blaming the fans and all that other stuff, like the origin story promo, you can't get much better than that. And that right there is gonna be a good heel. Ruby Soho is going to be a good heel. And I didn't think that would work out, but wow.
I mean, when you can use real logic in any type of story, I mean, even if you don't follow wrestling, you could go back and what she said, she did not tell a lie about any of it.
No, she didn't.
So you can understand her frustrations and why she just had enough. And that is the best heel that really makes sense. Even though, you can you could have went a different route, but I can't argue with her justification. And it really made sense. It sold me on her being the heel. Everything just that again, one of the matches that I was kind of looking forward to, but didn't have any real high expectations on. They blew me away, especially the ending. It got me.
Yeah, it did. It was a good match. I actually did enjoy the match a lot. Let's see. It says Rusty said trying to watch y'all in the August 10th, 2009 Monday Night Raw. What happened on 2000?
That's what I was just trying to think.
Let us know what happened on that, because what happened? I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not that smart with wrestling.
Yeah, I don't have history like that.
I don't even.
Yeah, I just can't remember everything.
Ruby's promo made no sense. All those three trying to beat New Women's Order.
Well, I mean, why? Okay, the reason why I think it made sense is because the fans did boo her. The fans booed her out the building, and then she got relegated to their small show. Then she got put in a feud with Eddie Kingston and them against the Jericho Appreciation Society, and everything she's done since she got there, the fans hadn't really been behind her, especially if it's like someone the fans really love, like Baker and Statlander. They they really did hate on her. So I don't understand why you don't think it makes sense.
Rusty said, "Oh, the search for lost Shawn Michael." Oh, I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about where he goes in the cafeteria and he's looking for Shawn, and Shawn's like the chef or something?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. I think I know exactly which episode you're talking about. Um, huh. I mean, we've been thinking about doing like watching old episodes live. I mean, not live, but putting them out for y'all. So we'll look into that. Um,
Definitely.
but man, it's definitely something is definitely building because I mean, you know, you have now Soraya, Tony Storm, and then Ruby Soho. Um,
That's such a I just gotta say, I love that trio.
oh yeah.
That's that's gonna be good.
And I love the fact that that will make their in star their in-house female have to step up and take their take their ball back to say, you
Well,
know, it gives them a chance to put on new faces and be able to do things. So
well, I mean, it's right now Britt Baker, and Jamie Hayter. So if they're gonna do a 3-on-3, they need a third person.
The
Um,
Return of Thunder Rosa.
could be.
that's not a bad idea. It's really not. I know I'm thinking
I
Ruby,
mean, Chris Statlander also.
Oh, definitely stat.
but I
But she
think she's
got
going to
to,
take Cargill.
yeah, that's exactly
Jade,
what I'm about to say.
absolutely, yeah.
Um, man, yeah, Thunder Rosa coming back and being in there would be crazy. Um, but no, I mean that was a good match. I enjoyed it. I really did. So score we're sitting at now is I've got 4 matches right. You and you two got 3, so I'm sitting pretty. I didn't do so pretty the rest of the night though. Gosh, man, who let me?
Sometimes you got to let that lead, let that person get in the lead and make them feel better about themselves before you squash them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the next match is the Texas Death Match. Um,
Yes.
dude, uh, I I really really thought John Moxley was gonna win. I'm serious. John was killing him, man. Um,
It was a brutal match,
oh,
dude.
dude,
Man,
when he took the fork, oh my gosh, like Abdullah the
and the
Butcher.
blood starts out
Oh,
on him.
Literally splattering. Like he looked like he was just like, oh my God.
You know what? The first thing that came to mind, I thought, for all you older fans that are into wrestling like I am, if you have not heard of Abdullah the Butcher, go back and look at Abdullah the Butcher. He is the king of taking a fork and sticking you in the forehead.
oh yeah,
Woo!
he's always been like that.
I hadn't seen a match like that that Abdullah the Butcher and Bruiser Brody. God
Mm.
Almighty!
Okay, look, it was a good match. It wasn't anything shocking to me because I regularly watch GCW and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and they're over here throwing people off like 20-foot scaffoldings on the light bulbs and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah,
So I wasn't like oh my, I wasn't going. It was a good match though, because John Moxley, like I said last week, I loved his old death matches, and it's crazy, man. Um, that finish, he's actually done that before. An old an old CZW back in like '09, I think. It was on one of the tournaments of death, and he was in it, and he lost the match because they hung him right there with the chain the same exact way, the
Mm.
same way, which is insane. Because I was sitting there watching, and I was like, I've seen this before, and so he's actually had to tap out from that before, which is
Interesting.
yeah, I know it's insane.
Did not know that.
Yeah, I think that was a nice little nod, or he just he's just crazy, but there was A couple times, man, I was like, "Oh, John Moxley got this in the books." Um, I mean, Adam Page was getting squashed out there for a long time.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was.
and dude, when they brought out the bricks, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, that was crazy. Um, I know a lot of people didn't like that match. I saw it on social media, because obviously it's a death match. Um, it's not much to say about it. I mean, some people like it, some people don't. So I've been saying this before. I personally love the death matches and stuff like that. A lot of people, it's just not their cup of tea. I think if that's your cup of tea, you really love that match. But if you just hate the death matches, you probably turned it off for a minute. Um,
I mean, I'll say I'm not really big on deathmatch wrestling. Like, I mean, I get why people are into it. Like, there's definitely times where I'm like going through, like, I have a mood and itch to watch it and everything.
yeah,
But I wouldn't say it's particularly my favorite style of wrestling or anything. But man, that match, it had me hooked. I'll say it definitely had me hooked. Everything about it was just way better than I expected.
yeah. Um,
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm always make it make sense, and that the lead up to it and everything, it made so much sense and where everything was supposed to end. So that's why I always say, if you can make it make sense, do the different thing. And let's just be honest. Hangman has had a rough year, and he had to get that back. And like he said on Wednesday Dynamite, look, he don't like to get there, but when he has to, you know your ass is in trouble.
yeah, there was a picture online from that match from somebody in tennis. They saw Hangman Adam Page's hair stuck to the corner chair with
Oh
barbed
yeah,
wire on it. Oh my gosh. Oh, dude.
yeah. Tony Schiavone was flipping out. He's like, "That's his hair." No, I'm telling you, that's his hair.
No, he literally got his hair ripped out because that barbed wire.
Mm,
Ah,
mm,
man.
mm.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was a great match. It was definitely. I like how they threw it in there, kind of towards the middle, because it's different from all the other matches. It kind of gives everybody a nice, like, holy hell. And so it was definitely a different change of pace from how crazy it was. And they did a great match. Hangman Adam Page is such a good performer because there's so many times where you're like, oh, he's done, and he comes back and just finds a way to win. So it was a great match though, but we're all tied now at 4-4-4. I picked Moxley because I got to stand by John Moxley, one of the death match kings. Y'all picked Hangman, which I probably should have picked, but gosh, man, I should have known. I really, um, yeah, I mean that was a great match. It really was. I enjoyed the match. I just loved seeing John Moxley. I mean, he's just a great performer. Um, but the the next match is for the TNT Championship with Samoa Joe and Wardlow. Before we say anything, I'm just gonna clarify right now. I wanted to pick Wardlow, but I went with my heart and picked Samoa Joe. So I knew Wardlow was gonna win. So but I went with my heart. With that being said, you two picked Wardlow. I I picked Samoa Joe. Um, but what's surprising is that was probably the most uneventful match of the night. The most, least exciting. I'll put it to you that way. Um, which is very surprising to me. It didn't last long at all. I didn't. I don't. I think it was probably 6 minutes, maybe 6, 7 minutes. It didn't pass 10 minutes. I know that for a fact.
Well,
Yeah.
after Wednesday night, now I understand why it was that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
Hey, all I'm saying, I not only did I get that right, I told y'all that he wasn't gonna leave Wednesday night with the
no.
championship. Uh, it, I saw it, and even though it was, it's sad to say this in this phrase, but it was the worst match of the night.
Yep.
Um, and it's surprising. I just didn't like the way it ended. Him choking Joe out just
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
one. I'm glad you brought that up. Let's be honest. When in the hell does Samoa Joe get choked out like that and pass out? When is the in the hell has that ever happened? It's Samoa Joe.
look. If you're gonna beat Samoa Joe, you use his Achilles heel. It's the roll up.
Yeah.
Joe can't beat the roll up.
Oh, that's funny. It just I don't know. I mean, I always like seeing Samoa Joe, but man, really? I was really hoping the match would go back and forth, and would last a lot longer and end, on a regular pinfall. But like you said, we know why it didn't last that long. I mean, in the media scrum, Hobbs even came out there,
Mm.
and talked to Wardlow, but Wardlow. Honestly, I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know if he's gonna have a feud with Hobbs now after Wednesday, or if he's just kind of gonna be there again. I hope they use him wisely. Um, I don't know, man. For him to win the belt and then lose it that fast, I feel like that's a bit upsetting. I don't feel like Wardlow should be done like that. Um,
I think it's time for that he needs to be repackaged.
that's
Yeah.
that's a good way to put it. I was trying to find a way to put it. I mean, look at Wardlow a year ago today. Um, I mean, Wardlow has always been a beast, and I'd say about I'd say after All Out last year, he just kind of went, and he just went.
Honestly, I say since he won the title, really, it's like he was
Yeah,
great in the
yeah,
chase, and then once he became the champion, it was just like, now what?
yeah,
Yeah, they didn't position him right as the champ, um, especially as as the way his character is. They really just made it ineligible. Eventually, you knew that he was going to get beat by another big man, and using mind games too. It's like anytime you want to beat Warlow, just outthink him, and that really is sad
Mm.
because he was on such a roll. And like I said, just repackage him, give him a little time away, or hell, even move him over the Ring of Honor. But he has to do something.
yeah. He's too good to have them doing him like that. Um, it, it just
You know,
doesn't seem right. Um,
I like what Rusty just said. You
Yeah.
know, just to have him save MJF and they reunite.
oh wow, yeah, but would you do that now or wait a while?
I will wait.
And how
I
long?
will make it.
And that means how long would you wait? Because if you wait for
I
that,
pro-
you got to take him off TV.
yeah, take him off or make him go on a losing streak, and then you can see Max reach out to him.
Man, Yeah. I'm trying to think about it. I mean, I would definitely wait, honestly, and just take him straight off of TV. Um, because I mean, people. Yes, he's been on kind of a losing streak, but people will realize Wardlow's not here,
Yeah.
and let's say MJF down the line, because obviously MJF's probably gonna have the belt for a while. Hell, take him off of TV right now and bring him back at Double or Nothing if you really want to, and then
I mean,
MJF at Double or Nothing fights whoever. Wardlow comes out and saves him. Big pop, boom, there you go. Um, or even before Double or Nothing, but I think he should be taken off of TV for a while. Not too long, but I do think to have him rightly repackaged and ready, I think he should be taken off.
have Hobbs take him out, make him look like keep that momentum Hobbs got, and then,
Yeah.
like you said, that'd be a good way to write him off.
The Book of Hobbs.
And
Let's see. So, with my poor choice of choosing, y'all both have five. I'm still sitting pretty at four. Um, but the next match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, the Guns, the Acclaim, Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Orange Cassidy, and Danhausen. So Bear chose Jarrett and Lethal. Um, Tell me what you think, Bear, before I continue.
um, that was one of those. That was another hard pick. Uh, I could have made an argument for all the wrestlers why they could win, how to make it make sense. The Guns, I kind of figured they were going to win, and I kind of figured FTR was going to have something to do with it, but it still caught me off guard. I won't even sit here and lie about it.
I honestly didn't even see that coming. I guess
I
I
didn't
was.
either.
I guess I was. I now after they came out, right when they came out, obviously I popped, but also too I was like, damn, I should have saw that coming, like because it was the Guns, and let's remember the last time we really saw FTR, the Guns came out and had they had the thing with them. I should
Right.
I should have seen that coming I don't know how I didn't. It went right over my head. Um, I guess I was just thought it would be later on, maybe another month or two before they came back or wherever they went. I didn't see it coming though. Even when the Guns started talking, the couple seconds before, I didn't see it coming. I thought they were just gonna start talking and then their music would hit and they'd leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even like because they were like, yeah, we're the best. I was oblivious. I was completely oblivious. I was sitting there like, man, they really won. And then FTR's music hit, and I was like, oh, I should have seen that coming. um, it was a good return though. I enjoyed it. Uh, Dax, I don't know how he got busted open so fast.
I'm saying,
All he
dude.
did
I was
all he
like,
did was walk down to the ring and get a little scuffle. And all of a sudden, his whole right side of his face is just busted. Um, but
Between him and Mox, they should never have a first blood match.
yeah, that match wouldn't last long. um, yeah, I'm so. I guess Bear, you're the only one that saw that coming because Brady said he didn't even see that coming. Um, But
yeah.
I am glad that they're back because when they came back, oh my gosh, I had like this just sense of like, oh man, the tag team division it was pretty good. It wasn't great. It was it wasn't bad, but damn, it just went up because you already know where FTR is going.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's pretty obvious, and so Double or Nothing, FTR versus the Guns. Um,
Honestly, I don't even think it's gonna get that far.
really, Wow. What about FTR versus Acclaim, Double or Nothing?
Mm.
I can see that more than the Guns. If I don't think if the Guns make it to their battle of the belts with the titles, that's where they'll drop them.
Okay.
They're not making it to the next pay per view.
Have we haven't seen? No, obviously we haven't seen that. Um, honestly, FTR versus Acclaim would be a hell of a match. I would. I
And I was about to say, and
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
FT,
whoa, 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 whoa!
I seen that.
You gotta be insane.
He, look, I think
That's
Rusty just saying stuff to try to see him
that's
get
a good
mad.
one.
That's a dude. No, ooh.
It's funny because I won't say FTR is by any means anywhere near one of my favorites, but I have so much respect for them and what they do. Like I could never say that.
Who's your favorite?
Oh dang! Nah, the next thing he wrote, they didn't like having the title.
The title. Yeah.
Oh dang!
Favorite
Ooh.
current?
Just yeah, sure.
Current? Hard to say currently, really.
Okay, all time then. I need to hear
I
this.
mean
Oh
Hardy
Jesus,
Boys,
that's
easily.
worse.
Hardy Boys. That they're what made me love wrestling. Honestly, we did a top. I think we did a top five tag team thing, but I could argue any of those three teams: Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, Edge, and Christian, as to be my favorites because they're what made me love wrestling.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's not really arguing about that. I mean, I really like
Exactly,
I really like FTR. I
man. Come on,
I
seven.
love like lucha style though, like lucha
right?
libre is my thing. So it's like whenever I was introduced to FDR, it was the whole no flips, just this
Flips,
thing. So it was like I didn't really care for them, but I have a huge amount of respect for them.
Yeah, man. They're 7 star, man. 7 star living legends.
man. Of course, when you say tag teams, you got to throw them boys in there. Them Briscoe boys.
Yeah, honestly, I think Briscoes will go down as one of my favorites, if not my favorites, just because of everything they've done. And but FTR, you got to give them the credit where credit's due. I think everybody has respect for FTR, except I guess Rusty. I'm not, I'm not really sure what's going on there, but man, I could definitely see FTR, and then because I can't think of another team to fight them at Double or Nothing besides the Acclaimed. Um, but
I tell you, I like some of the younger teams that are starting to make a move. And then look, let's not forget about the Blackpool Combat Club.
yeah, that's true. But here's the thing: if they're fighting FTR, well, no, I guess you don't. I was gonna say, I mean, if they're fighting FTR, somebody's got to be a heel. But the thing is, I mean, you look at the Briscoes at FTR. Who was the heel?
Exactly.
That's what kind of stopped me from saying that. I mean,
I feel like Acclaims can kind of be like that middle ground team though, where it's like they're not really face, they're not really heel, they just do kind of
here's the
what they
thing.
want.
Listen to this. You
Yeah.
know how to make them a heel? They come out and just don't rap or scissor. I'm serious.
Oh yeah. People would lose their mind.
If
If they stop the scissoring thing and just like done,
imagine
oh
imagine
man.
if they come out and they go to scissor or something, and they're like New Orleans, and let's say they're yeah, New Orleans, and he's like Bowens is like New Orleans, and he starts it, and he does, and he stops talking, and he just kind of stands up, and he looks, and he has the scissors, and then all of a sudden he changes it to a middle finger and just flips them off. Think about that.
People would lose their
Oh,
people would lose their mind.
people would go bananas, man. They'd be like, "What the?" Oh, they would get booed hard. That's all you got to do because their gimmick is so over. If you
Yeah.
all you got to do is have them come out and just shut the gimmick off, and people will hate them.
That would be such a sick way to do it. I would love to see that. That would honestly make me like them more, to be honest.
Because you know
Me
how,
too. I will
dude,
probably start crying, laughing.
well, because you know that Bowens comes out and he like leans in the audience on the side on down the ramp. That's what I'm saying. If he's like New Orleans and he goes like this and then it just stops, stands up, looks around, and then just flips him off. Oh, that's a good one. Brady said beat up daddy ass. Oh, if they beat up Billy Gunn.
Nobody cares. At this point, nobody likes daddy ass. It's just a
Whoa.
name. Come on.
You really don't think that that would make them get booed? I feel like if they
Nah.
if Billy Gunn had the scissors and they were like, they thought about it and they just started beating them up, man. All right.
Yeah.
I feel like all they got to do is just spit on the gimmick, really.
Yeah.
If they spit on the gimmick, that's it. But honestly, if they
I don't. So I'm sorry. I just got to say this. I don't like Daddy Ass. I don't like DX. Anything that has Billy Gunn is just on my damn nerve.
Whoa. Let's just pump the brakes for a second now.
you don't like DX,
I can handle the whole daddy ass thing. I get it. But to say you don't like DX, come on. I got 2 words for you, buddy. I got 2 words for you.
like DX. He doesn't
Anything
like
that had
DX.
anything that got Billy Gunn, I just don't like.
You don't like DX.
Overrated.
Okay, let's move on. Whoa. This ain't a hot take episode. This is a Revolution review.
He doesn't like DX. You don't like DX? I'm like so dumbfounded that you just said that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty flustered. That caught me way off guard.
We'll go to the next thing.
Okay. You don't like DX. Okay. I can't even think about that anymore. I don't know what to say to that. So me and Clayton thought the Guns were gonna win. They won. We're all tied at 5-5-5. Wait, what? No, we're not. Yeah, we are.
I have 6.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
should have
No,
6.
Clayton actually.
I didn't change it. Yeah. I'm sorry. Clayton has 6 because I was looking at it because Clayton won by 1 point. So you got 7 right. And
7 out of 8. If I had just gone with my heart like y'all did on that trios match, man.
yeah, I got 5. I got 5 right. Bear got 6 right.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you chose Danielson.
Yep. I chose Danielson. Y'all both chose MJF. That's the last match, ladies and gentlemen. The 60-minute Iron Man match. Holy hell.
What a match.
Actually, it's like 65, 66-minute Iron Man match. But yeah, I chose Danielson. I didn't think MJF had it in him, dude. I'm sorry. I really didn't. I love MJF. Now, hold on a second. Before people start going at me, I love MJF. I think he's... I'm gonna shoot you with this. Honestly, and I 100% believe this. MJF already is top 10 heel of all time. He's close to top 5. I'd put him top 6 of all time. Okay, and let me tell you why. He's got the cockiness like nobody else has ever had. He breaks the 4th wall like nobody else has ever had, and that's a big thing in wrestling. Okay. He breaks the 4th wall like nobody else has. He uses, everybody uses cities, but he goes overboard with it. He goes overboard with crapping on cities, crapping on people's looks.
He threw the water in the kid's face.
I'm not even gonna get into that yet. I'm gonna get into that, but I'm just talking about like just every week thing, Dynamite. He craps on the cities, your culture, your background, the way you look. And he doesn't do it just a little bit. He does it overboard. And then he puts in like the little like sexual gestures, like the whole thing he talked about with Liv and all that. He's just a dude. He he is so good, and by the time his career's done, I would seriously debate him being the best heel of all time when his career's done.
That's the thing. He's still what, 24,
Yes,
something like that?
exactly. That's what I'm saying. And to already be doing that at that age, you're crazy, man. And his Brady made a good point. His media scrums. Oh my! He comes out there and he's like, "Hey, everybody, did I do good? I don't care. You're gonna listen to me now. How's
So
everybody?"
he offered the dude the pickle.
Yes, dude. He's like, come get a pickle. And like he told him, and then he's like, "Here, take it." And he's like, "All right, get out of my face." You know, I mean, he just, dude. I mean,
He has that it, like Roman Reigns said about Dusty Rhodes telling him he has it. MJF has it. He has the ability. He can take any genre of a wrestling fan and speak to them. And you know how rare that is?
yeah,
Where so many different wrestling fans like so many different things, and he can touch every one of them.
he he's a one of a kind, no doubt, and he proved it the other night with the whole throwing the water in the kid's face. But I mean, not just because the thing is, who would do that? Everybody who's a heel, they stop, or even outside of wrestling. I know some of them are strict on it, but they're nice guys. I know MJF is probably a nice guy, but you wouldn't know because outside of wrestling, that dude's an asshole.
Bro.
He's worse.
Like,
He's
to find out
worse.
that wasn't like a planted
Oh,
person,
You know,
that's
I go back and forth about that so much because who in their right mind would allow somebody, just like we were talking about before we came on there, and I was telling you about my experience last night. So, just quick summary, guys. Last night, me and my fiance, we went to a wrestling show, and the wrestlers came out beside us, and one fell beside my fiance. He didn't touch her or anything, but I could not be a man and let some person, even on an accident, is one thing, but still let somebody touch my fiance and sit there and be like, "Oh, okay. I don't care how big you are. I'm gonna have to. You're gonna see the grizzly come out this bear." So it is. It just. It's hard for me to fathom that was not a plant. Even with any mom would sit there and let some man throw some water on their kid and not react, not just with a mouth open. She would have threw a purse, chair, something. So that, but it's so good that it makes me question: was it real? Was it not? And every day I come up with a different side of it.
the thing is, me seeing like the the picture of somebody took about the kid being backstage with Hobbs after that and like cheering him up. I think that made it feel like it was actually real because AEW didn't post that. It was somebody in the back.
Yeah,
It was somebody in the back and it was like a phone quality. Like they took it really fast. That's what makes me think it was real because AEW is like, oh hell, that's what I'm saying. I feel like if it was planted, AEW would put it all over like, hey, this kid, you know what I'm saying?
right.
No, nope. All we got was a picture of some guy in the back who took a really quick snapshot, and it wasn't good quality either. It was pretty bad quality picture. So
yeah, you could tell he was like far away and zoomed
yeah,
in to like take the
exactly,
picture. So it
exactly.
made,
And,
yeah.
and if you look, nobody else was around Hobbs except the mother and the son. No cameras, no nothing. Seriously, I don't think that was planted. I think that was real. And even if he didn't do that, there's something else he did in the match, man. When he went up to the camera and said, I was after the water. He went up to the camera and said, "Oh, do I get a star taken away for that, Dave?" That's what I'm talking about. I don't look. People can say what they want, but dude, that right there is a heel. He literally looked. He looked dead in the face of us as the viewers, and he said, "Oh no, do I lose a star for that, Dave? Oh ho, oh my, dude, you can't get better than that. You really can't. There is no heel in any promotion right now touching MJF. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I can argue with that all day, every day.
I'll
MJ,
agree with it.
eh, eh,
100%.
MJF is the best heel in the game right now, and that's just the way it is. Mark Henry had a story about him. He was talking about because they were talking about, like you were saying, Bear. If he's the same way outside of wrestling, Mark Henry was like, "Yeah, man. When MJF around the first time he got to AEW, we were talking in the back, and I was trying to give him some pointers about some stuff, and we were sitting there, and I was talking, and MJF told me to shut up, and he was being serious, and Mark Henry was like, "You're telling me to shut up? I'm Mark Henry. I'll grab you. I'll grab you, dude." And Mark Henry's like, straight up, that dude don't care who you are. He'll talk down to you. Like he's a born heel. Like, and I think that's why he's so good at being a heel in the ring. I mean, he's legit like that, I guess. Which is just insane to me. And every Wednesday he does something new, and I get so it's so good. Like this Wednesday, he's having his rebar mitzvah, I believe. Um,
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a bunch of memes about like the Malibu's Most Wanted scene where he's like,
did you
Have
see
you seen?
the pictures of him from like his
That's exactly what. That's
yo,
exactly what I was gonna say.
with all the oh my gosh. That's gonna be a good episode. I'm gonna have to watch that. That's gonna be a good dynamite.
Look, it says a lot when your own legitimate parents say, "I hate this guy." When they go to your wrestling show with a sign, just because I had him don't mean I like him.
Dude, it, MJF going back to the match really did. I know he's so good on the mic, but he proved to me that he can get in the ring and do this same thing that everybody else can and better. I mean, not only is he good on the mic, but damn, he is good in the ring. I mean, he went out there for an hour and something minutes and just killed it. Like the first 15 minutes of the match was a bit slower because everybody was cheering and they were kind of going back and forth with little punches and stuff. But after that, the match took off from submission to finishers to huge clotheslines to MJF putting Danielson through the table. And oh my gosh, just back and forth. And Danielson coming up with the submissions, and then the ending where Danielson put MJF in the submission and MJF would not tap out, and he finally tapped out right when the timer went off. That is insane. I mean, that was a good storytelling match. I really did enjoy that match. And when it ended on the draw, I was like, no way. They're going to do something. And when they were like, yeah, we're going to keep it going, next pinfall wins. Dude.
I felt like they were gonna do that in the beginning. I was like, man, how can you make this stick out? Not like, and I thought they'll probably do the Sean and Brett ending.
Honestly, I thought MJF was going to tap out before the timer ended. I thought it was going to get down to like 5 seconds, 4, 3, and then MJF started tapping out, and everybody goes crazy, and then the timer ends. I thought that's how that was going. The way I was looking, I was like, he's going to tap out in like the last 5 seconds. Come to find out, he never tapped, and I was like, oh hell, okay, well, and it was a great match, man. That's definitely one of my favorite Iron Man matches I've ever seen. That was a good Iron Man match. A really good Iron Man match. But that was the last match of the night. What are y'all's thoughts about that match? I mean, that was a long, long back and forth match.
The biggest take for me was that match was so good, didn't even seem an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah,
It didn't at all.
I can agree with that. Usually with Iron Man matches, I start sitting there. I'm like, oh, I get kind of fidgety. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
what's going on? And man, no, that match. I was excited that it kept going in the end when they were like, we're gonna keep going. I was like, yes, let's keep this going. I don't want the night to end. I want this pay per view to keep going. Um, so I really did enjoy the match. It's one of my favorite Iron Man matches I've ever seen. It's one of AEW's best matches they've ever had. Um, but all around, it was a great pay per view. Um, I really enjoyed it. I think we all enjoyed it. It can be argued that was their best pay per view. But
Oh, definitely.
any final thoughts about the pay per view or any one of the matches or anything?
Just like you said, probably if not one of the best, if not the best, definitely one of the best AEW pay-per-views. So if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go watch it.
I think this is the reason why AEW will continue to succeed because they deliver on their pay per views and storytelling.
Yep.
And I think it's a beautiful thing. Too long we had that for quite a while. We had that missing in wrestling, and it's back in the big spotlight too. So that's why I really enjoyed it. I think it's going to succeed.
Yeah. If they keep doing now, I'm so excited for Double or Nothing now because that's their big pay per view, and I already know that's gonna just deliver. Um, so I'm really excited for Double or Nothing. Um, and it's gonna be in Vegas. Honestly, this was like a little thought. I was hoping it would be somewhere close to where I was. Maybe a state over. I would have gone to it. I would have gotten the tickets and gone to it. Real talk. And I found it was in Vegas. I was like, oh, never mind. I'm not going there. But no, it was a great pay per view. Like Bear said, if you haven't watched it, and like Clayton said, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. I mean, come on now. We've all been saying this. Just go do yourself a favor, go watch it. Just go watch little clips if you really want. I mean, it was just a great pay per view. Um, but moving on from the pay per view, we're going to go back to the day after the pay per view, and we're going to switch promotions. So we're going to go to WWE.
Real quick, actually, I'll have to leave y'all here in this transition. I don't have a lot to say on Raw. I didn't watch it this week, so I'll
Wow,
let y'all. I'll
I
let y'all get down to business on this one.
I thought you were going to say something about it because the topic I was going to talk about was Mr. Cena.
No, I actually I haven't gotten a chance yet, so
Wow.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, go watch it because it was crazy.
Yeah. All right, y'all. But I'm gonna be listening. So,
All
All
right.
right.
all right.
Um. Yeah. What we're gonna talk about is the whole John Cena thing first. Um. I we've been talk. Shoot, man. We predicted this probably weeks, probably a couple months ago now. I think everybody kind of saw this coming. He was gonna fight Theory at WrestleMania for the title. Um. I mean, why else would he have returned? And guess what? He returned, and that's what happened. He challenged Theory, and it was a hell of a promo that he put on. Um, but I can tell you this much: at WrestleMania, Theory wins. Is going to win that match, and he's going to be put over like no other. Theory deserves.
Yeah,
Theory deserves to be a star. This match is going to make him a star.
it definitely should. Definitely should. Um, the first thing after watching that promo, I thought only John Cena can bury people and say things that the company really don't want out. He can say and get away with it, and it ain't gonna nothing to him.
Yeah, he
Just the piping, clapping. Oh my god! I'm like, dang.
yeah, that was when he said that I was like, "Whoa. Oh, that one hurt." Um wow. Yeah, John is John. He can put on a promo. I got to give him respect for that. And that was no different. I love Theory. I don't know why in the world anybody would hate Theory because he's such a good heel, and he holds that. I'm glad that the United States title is finally getting the coverage it deserves, and Theory is probably the one of the, if not the perfect guy to hold the belt for that coverage. Um, and this is going to be a big match for everybody. I mean, this is a big match for John because this is his actual wrestling match back in a long time. The one on SmackDown in December, I'm not going to count that. He was in there to do the five knuckle shuffle, and that was it. Um, so this is going to be a good match. Obviously, John's going to lose, and Theory is going to be put over like hell. I mean, Theory is, dude. This match is about to make Theory a megastar. A
It should.
it
It
is
should.
it is going to make him a megastar. Fighting Cena at WrestleMania for the United States title, dude. I mean, all the pieces are there for Theory to be a megastar. This match is the last and final piece, and I'm very excited. Honestly, I can't believe I'm saying it, but this is probably the match I'm most excited for.
Oh
Not
wow.
so far. But it's not because of John Cena returning, because everybody knows how I feel about Cena. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan at all. I'm just excited to see how Theory's going to perform against a huge veteran like that, and how over he's going to get put from this match. Because after this match, everything that he did, in the past, people are going to talk about it. But after this match, people are going to be like, oh, who's that guy? Oh, that's Theory. He beat Cena at WrestleMania, dude. He beat Cena for the U.S. belt. Oh, dang, really? Yeah, he beat John Cena. Oh, yeah, he beat Cena. Yeah, he's the United States champion. Cena came back and lost to him. That's what people are going to be talking about when they after WrestleMania. Unless they just do a swerve ball and, and Theory loses, but that's not going to happen. Um,
Well, I think win, lose, or draw is gonna put eyes on Theory.
for sure.
I don't see any good reason for Cena to win,
There
even if
is no good reason. I mean,
even if he won and lost it that next night. You know, okay, I just don't see it.
it doesn't do
Um,
anything for anybody. It literally
right.
doesn't do anything.
Well, and for me, I keep thinking about uh the matchup between Cena and Roman Reigns when Cena murdered him on the mic,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that made Roman get his stuff together real quickly after that.
yeah.
And now, and I will say this too: Cena has that good trick of bringing things out of people. Now, if you hadn't seen it, go watch it. Theory held his own. Theory did a good job with him, but Cena is always easy to go with low blows on anybody. He will take whatever and will make it so trendy and funny. It's like, oh dang,
See,
why did you do that?
that's the thing about this promo. Cena did not crush Theory, and I'm going to tell you why. Theory held his own. Cena, all he did was hit him with low blows. Okay, that's it. Like the whole, oh, they put crowd noises in it. That's a low blow. But Theory was walking away and said, I'm not going anywhere. He stood his ground, and then he said, oh, isn't your motto hustle, loyalty, respect? Why are you giving up? Why are you giving up on all these people? That dude was keeping his ground. Yes,
He
John was hitting him with huge low blows that eventually, obviously John came out as the winner of that promo. But dude, Theory was holding his own. I mean,
yeah, he did. He did. I thought though clearly, and this is just my take on it. The way WWE kind of craps on people, the younger guys, and the way John went about it is definitely why you're gonna see Theory win. Because he's like, look, I'm trying to help you because you ain't ready for this. You ain't ready to be the man.
yeah.
Look, look. I told you no because quite frankly, you crap. But you want to keep on? Okay, fine.
See,
Remember,
the
I'm not going to be there to hold your hand on Monday night afterwards because the crowd is vicious.
the beef, I will give Cena his credit because I think the best part of that whole promo wasn't the low blow. I truly think when was the first time Theory asked him for the match, John said turned around and just said no because a lot of people were like, "What?" You know, and
Yeah,
I knew because we've been talking about it so long that they were going to do something where he would eventually say yes, or he would say yes next week, or even the night before WrestleMania. But
right.
the way he looked to the crowd and then turned to Theory and just said no, that's it, just no. I was like, man, that right there that was good. That was a nice. That was good, and I really enjoyed that because even Theory was like, "What do you mean
What?
no?" Yeah, even he was like, "What do you mean no? I have the United States title. It's WrestleMania. What the hell are you talking about? No." Um, that was good, and the way it built up from there, where Cena was like, "I didn't tell you no because I don't want to. I'm telling you no because you're not ready. You're not good. You suck." That's basically what he was saying. Um, that's just like you said. That's exactly why he's going to be a megastar. Is when he does beat Cena. Because I'm going to be honest, Theory's. I'm not going to say he's the best, but he doesn't suck on the mic. He's good on the microphone.
No.
He comes out there, he gets the fans, he goes, "Shut up," and he's like, "I'm the best, I got the title. Shut up," and he just he's good on the mic. Yeah, he could have some work to be done, but he's good on the mic. He can go out there and make a promo if he really wants to. And
I mean, for a youngster, look, Theory hadn't been doing this that long,
no, he hasn't.
and you can tell the steps he's made. I watched Theory ever since they brought him in the NXT, and his just his build and when they first brought him out for WrestleMania when the pandemic, I actually liked him then. I just it's like okay, he needs some work. He needs something, and man, it's like he's finally they're giving him a chance to come into his own.
Yep, and I like that because let's look at like one, this time last year he was coming out with he was literally called, Theory, and now he's back to Austin Theory. But back then, he didn't have the beard yet, and he always came out with like his attire, even when he was doing a promo, and he'd coming out with the phone taking the pictures, and they would show the pictures on the screen. Now he has no phone. He comes out with the shades on and the chain, and he's got the beard, and they don't show the slideshow anymore, and he's back to Austin Theory. That right there is just a small build of itself.
Yeah,
The killing the whole phone thing. Every time he came out, I was like, dude, I just kept thinking of Zack Ryder, man. That was my problem,
I
and I was
I
like,
thought of
uh,
dang from NXT. Oh Jesus, can't even think his name. Uh, it'll come to me. But yeah, I know what you mean. It was somebody else's gimmick. They were
and,
repurposing a gimmick.
and it's not even that it was somebody else's gimmick. It's like Zack Ryder was a babyface, and that's why he could come out there and do that. I know that the reason they were doing it for Theory is because it wasn't the sense of like being sweet to the fans and taking pictures and like, hey, look at me, I'm like, I'm a nice looking dude, I'm beautiful looking. He was doing it as I'm cocky as hell. I'm gonna take a selfie with you, But the way Theory talks on the mic, it just didn't work out as the heel. It was off. His gimmick was off. It's like why the hell why are you coming out on the mic telling people to shut up, but then you're taking selfies on your phone? It just didn't sit right
It
with
was
me. It was almost
it,
it was almost cartoonish, you know?
Tyler Breeze.
Oh
That's
yeah, Tyler Breeze. Yeah, and it was literally cartoonish for me, you know?
yeah.
It's just cartoonish, and it just didn't work. And now he's coming out, no phone. He's got the chain on. He's got, you know, the jacket on. He's got the shades, and he just walks around with like the "I'm better than you." He doesn't need the phone.
Serious. Yeah, he's more serious about the business.
Yep. He doesn't need the phone. He doesn't need any of that. He comes out, he does his promo, he goes to the match, kills it in the match, and he does the same thing every week. And you know that's why I like him. But this match is gonna put Theory over like no other, man. And the next night on Raw, when he comes out, he's gonna get booed, but no shit, he may get cheered. You know, I'm sure some people are cheering for beating John Cena, but um, he definitely is gonna get the because you know, the next night when he comes out and he does get booed, all he has to do is come out there and say, "Told you so." I mean, I just beat John Cena. You know what else? And that's just the way it is. Because now nobody can. Because a lot of people, the problem is whenever he comes out, they're like, "Oh, he hasn't beaten anybody. He's just cocky. He doesn't do
Yeah.
anything." Guess what? After he beat John Cena, they don't have a damn thing to say about him. And that's why this match is going to make him a megastar. Because John Cena being on the other side of that, John Cena is a sports entertainer, and he's going to put Theory over in the match. He's going to have those big moves where Theory hits him with, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, you know, John Cena just got hit." Or when John Cena hits the AA on him and Theory kicks out, you're like, "Oh my gosh, he just kicked out." No way. And that's why it's going to be a good match, and I'm excited for that. That's why I'm the most excited so far. That's the match I'm most excited for.
Tell you, for me, the most excited match I'm looking for is the Usos and Sammy and Kevin Owens, because just when you think they cannot play with your heartstrings anymore, they get you. Cause Jay, man, Jay should be. He needs an award on how much he takes your heart and just. Oh man,
Some people are saying that it's still part of Jay and Sammy's scheme. Like they were saying that when Jay hugged him before he kicked him, he whispered something in his ear, um,
yeah,
and then he kicked him because now he's saying they're saying that he told Sammy if he doesn't go back to Roman's side, it's gonna get worse. But he's gonna, you know, he's gonna go back on Roman's side. But when the time comes, he's just gonna turn on Roman himself. And you never know, man. Um,
yeah. Hey, if well, if in that theory, it's good for the simple fact because they've
Storytelling.
look they brought in Cody into it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if it's them, if oh man, what happens if Sammy was playing us all along and he's still been a part of the bloodline?
I don't know then. I really don't know what to say then because that would be insane. Um,
Exactly. Nobody would see it coming.
my,
Hell, I wouldn't have.
my thing is though with the whole if they do, let's just say this is legit and Jay did actually turn and there is no inside scheme with Jay and Sammy. Man, what is he gonna do to get Kevin Owens to join him though? Because like with that story,
Oh,
man, they're being really, you know, like they're both persistent. So Sammy's like, I can't do this. Last Monday, straight up, gave me. I was about 90% sure they were gonna do the tag team match. Last Monday, after the backstage talk Kevin Owens and Sammy had, I probably dropped down to an 80 because of
I'm
how
t-
persistent Kevin Owens is and like, no, you can do it yourself. You chose to be part of them, now you can do it yourself. I was like, damn, man, I don't know if he'll ever give in. Seriously,
it will.
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you that made me 100% sure they're having a tag match just for the simple fact, how many times has Kevin Owens turned on somebody? How many times have Kevin Owens have done somebody wrong?
So let me ask you then, how are they going to do it? Is Kevin Owens going to finally say, all right, I'll join you? Or is he going to come out and save Sammy, shake his hand or something, be like, you want my help? Fine. And then leave the ring?
They're gonna. It's. I think he's gonna come through, save him, and they're gonna have that big hug moment and challenge the Usos. I that's what I see.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It may happen tomorrow. You never know.
Yeah,
Because I mean, it's honestly, it's. I know we're still a couple weeks away, but it's getting kind of close to WrestleMania.
yeah,
They better start get.
yeah.
They better kick that storyline into full gear if they want that match. Uh,
Well, I think they've been had it in gear. It's just the little taste, the little morsels that make you, oh wow,
the nice seasonings on top. You get a
exactly.
nice steak. You got to have steak sauce. You know, you gotta have. It's got to be seasoned. You know.
Yeah.
Um. Let me ask you a question. We're gonna switch it up to a different match though. So it's confirmed now that it's gonna be Damage Control versus Trish, Lita, and Lynch. Um. Before we talk about that match though, I'm gonna get this rumor out of the way. There's a rumor going around, and the people who I get the rumor from are almost 100%. I'm not gonna say that. They're about 90% correct all the time. They said that Trish Stratus is gonna turn heel and face Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. What do you think about that? And do you think that's a possibility?
Yes, I heard it. I've heard the same rumors. I think that would honestly be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I think maybe that will be able to get Bailey back in the mix because I think as I can see it, I see Trish blaming Becky for breaking up her friendship with Lita,
Okay.
and that her and Becky become best friends. I see something like that.
Something like '04 Trish, 2004.
Right, right.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that. I know SummerSlam's a far ways away, but that means then Trish Stratus came out the other night. That means she ain't going nowhere for a while. Um,
And keep Becky out of the world title matches.
yep.
That's a big match, and that will keep them going. And you don't have to have Trish there all the time.
It'll keep Becky as a babyface, what she needs to be, and it's something
Right,
different. It's not just trick, because usually when legends return, always babyface, always.
right.
They're never really been heel. To bring a legend like that and turn him heel, that's a big move. That's a
Yeah. Well,
and it's a bold
I
move because here's the thing: it's a bold move to bring a legend back and turn them heel. Because how do you know they're gonna get booed? They're legend, you know. It's a bold move. I'm sure with the right time and the right push, you can get anybody to turn heel. But it's just such a bold move to turn a legend like that heel, man.
well look. They did it with The Rock. If you think about it, remember when The Rock came back from Hollywood and he turned heel and he had the match with the Hurricane. He had the match with Goldberg. He was a heel, so it can be done. Plus, you're
Okay,
going
well,
up against a man.
here's the thing. I don't know if I would count that as like a big return like this, like a legend return, because The Rock wasn't gone terribly long. Um,
But he was so oh, that's the thing. The Rock is always going to be over. So it was hard to see him turn against the fans.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's
And, and
about Trish. I mean, there a lot of people still argue that she's the greatest woman of all time.
exactly.
So to bring
And
her in and
and
turn her heel is a big, bold move.
and why not? Because Becky Lynch is the man. She's the she's one of the top women performers. You already had Charlotte and Trish. You don't want to go down that road with the same dynamic, so flip it.
Yeah. Um.
It's not gonna hurt Trish
No, it won't hurt.
because she's still gonna be a legend.
No, yeah, it should still be a legend. It's just, I wonder going in the match how much she'll be getting booed is what how much do you think? How much heelish can she get?
Oh
Because
man,
because the thing is, I mean, it's Trish Stratus, man. Like if Lita turned heel right now, I wouldn't boo her. I just can't. I mean, I can't boo her. I just can't do it.
I always go like this. Just because you're a legend don't mean you're not an asshole.
Yeah, that's a good point. Look at Ric Flair.
And woo,
Hey, that's all we gotta say. Now let's go back to the match though, real quick. I'm gonna tell you this right now. WrestleMania match: Damage Control and Lita, Trish, Becky Lynch. Bailey turns on Damage Control. I'm putting the prediction.
mm,
I'm putting the prediction down right now. Bailey turn. They're. My thing is, I bet you they're gonna lose, and it's something's gonna happen in the ring where there's gonna be a miscommunication that makes them lose. Bailey's gonna be like, "What the hell was that? Why did you do that?" She's gonna get upset, and that's when they start arguing. One of them slaps the other one, and that's when it breaks loose. Now hold on a second. It's not gonna be no, it can. Never mind. I was gonna say Io Sky and Dakota Kai were gonna stay together for the tag titles, but I forgot other people are going after that. So, because they're probably gonna do Ronda Rousey and probably Shayna Baszler after those. So I guess they could all break. Because what I was thinking was only Bailey's gonna get mad, and then the Dakota Kai and Io Sky were basically gonna Bailey's gonna turn on those two, and they were gonna stay together. Um, but I mean, I guess now that I think about it, they could all break. But either way, Bailey, I have a theory, man. Bailey's turning on him. Bailey,
Bailey, I have to agree with you on that. I just think that Trish is gonna be the reason why they're gonna win, and they're gonna be surprised because they ain't gonna know anything about Trish and Bailey together. And then when they all celebrating, Bailey and Trish gonna beat the crap out of them. That's how I see it. Because they've just did nothing with Damage Control. They've made them. They had so many good opportunities they didn't run with. So it's time to break them up.
yeah,
They can stay together as a tag
I think
team.
WrestleMania is the perfect time to break them up.
Yeah.
So go ahead, WWE, put it on the list and make sure it gets done. Because yeah, I mean, they had a good couple of matches, a good run for a little bit, but I think it is time to finally let them be on their way.
Oh yeah.
But man, this episode flew by.
Like you usually do.
Yeah, that's true. Um, we just want to say thank you so much for joining us as always. If you didn't watch Revolution, go back and watch it. It's really good. If you didn't go watch Monday Night Raw, go back and watch it, especially the promo battle. That was really nice with Cena and Theory, setting up the match. Next week, we're gonna just keep diving more into more WrestleMania, man. I mean, another week goes by is another week closer to WrestleMania, and it's the biggest pay per view of the year for for all of wrestling. I mean, so the stories are only gonna grow from here. The matches are only gonna grow. Bigger stuff is gonna happen. So next Sunday, it'll be. Oh my gosh, we have 2 episodes left, and then it's WrestleMania.
Mm. Well, and then we definitely need to talk about all the other promotions getting ready for their their big shows around WrestleMania because everybody, which is smart, capitalize off of the people. People love wrestling. Do it because hey, we got Ring of Honor, we got Impact versus New Japan.
Yep.
Uh, we got CC. What is it? CCW they're gonna have some shows. Man, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah,
And
and
um,
it's.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I mean, we're gonna dive into all of them. I couldn't believe we only have two episodes until WrestleMania. I thought it was at least like three. So that means there's three Monday Night Raws left until WrestleMania and three SmackDowns left until WrestleMania. Gosh, that's crazy. Um, wow. In 3 weeks from today will be night number two of WrestleMania. Think about that. That's crazy. Uh,
Yeah.
oh, and that's crazy. I was at WrestleMania. I was at last year's WrestleMania. It's gonna be almost a year since I was there. I remember it like it was.
Oh wow.
I remember it like it was yesterday, man. I've told you the story, but we were sitting there. I didn't have tickets. It was the day of the first day of WrestleMania, night one, and I just got off of work. I got off work probably like 1 o'clock. It was a really early day, and I had Sunday off automatically, but I had day off, and I was like, I was really debating, man. I was like, WrestleMania's tonight. I want to go out to like a bar or a restaurant, because
Right.
some of the places around here, like Buffalo Wild Wings, actually stream WrestleMania, and
Yeah.
especially Dave and Buster's down the road. And I was like, man, maybe I'll go out, watch it. I was debating if I should stay here or go out and watch it. And then I got curious to see who was, showing it online, and I was looking. All right, they're showing it, and then underneath it had the Ticketmaster website, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna click it to see how much is left if there's any. Clicked it, man. If I didn't see two seats right in the middle for a good price, oh my gosh, I was like, oh. Ho, ho. I texted my girlfriend really fast. What time do you get off? What time do you get off? What time do you get off? And get this, man. She said I get off at 5:30. Oh man, I literally went and picked her up from her job, went straight to the AT&T Stadium, and oh, it was such a blast. And that was only for night one. I wasn't planning on going to night two because I thought they were going to be a bit more expensive than what they were. Um,
uh
and after night one, I kept telling myself, I'm not going to night two. Night one's going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. Whenever they said thank you and good night when we were there for night number one, and they were like, we'll see you tomorrow. When we were in the car, man, driving back, I was like, I got to go to night two. Gotta go to night two. And I literally remember it like it was yesterday. I remember walking to the AT&T Stadium, seeing a big sign. I saw the TV panel going on for the pre-show. I got to look, see Booker T and all them. Um, and I saw the merch, and I walked around the stadium and saw all the stuff they got going on outside and all the little events. And I seriously remember it like it was yesterday. Now it's about to be a year ago. That's insane. And but like I said, WrestleMania is a great time. I love WrestleMania. There's always big stuff that happens. And after last year, it just boosted up. Because when you actually go to a WrestleMania, and you know this, you went to 27, right? Uh,
Yep.
when you go to one, it just changes it. WrestleMania is awesome, but when you
Man,
actually go to one, it changes your whole perspective, man. It really does.
it really, really does.
Uh,
And you get if you lucky enough to get some of the early events and
yes,
different things,
yes. And
man.
that's one thing I'm really upset myself about is because I didn't think I was gonna go to WrestleMania, so I didn't go to like the access. And
Right.
I'm so upset because they had the access down at the where was it? I think it was at the it was at one of the convention centers. Um and I was like, man, they had them going all week, and of course I miss it. I wanted to go so bad because they had all this stuff on display, and so
Man.
angry I missed. I mean,
So
we've all been to a WrestleMania. I mean, Brady went to a WrestleMania. He went to the one. That's the one I didn't go to. Here in 2016, that was 32. WrestleMania
yeah.
32. He went to that one, and I know he probably had
Oh God, he had to sit through Roman and Triple H.
Hey, but he got to see Shane McMahon kill himself off the top of the.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I mean, but I'm sure Brady could say the same thing. You see WrestleMania and it's awesome, but when you actually sit there and go to one, it's so it was so loud in there.
Mhm.
Oh, dude, I've been to a lot of Monday Night Raws and I've been to SmackDowns. I've even been to AEW. I've been to an Impact. And dude, nothing changes it just like a WrestleMania stadium because it's a huge stadium.
Oh yeah,
And over here, AT&T Stadium isn't a small stadium, dude. That place was so loud, and every seat you saw was sold, man. Somebody was sitting in a seat. So the WrestleMania this year is going to be huge because that stadium in it that's going to be SoFi Stadium is such a
oh
beautiful
yeah,
stadium. I know you've seen it, man. How it's got the
oh
long
yes,
flat top and it's got the waterfall outside. Beautiful stadium, man. It's beautiful, and it costs like $7 billion. And
man. It's gonna be
it's
beautiful.
I can't wait to see the video of them because they always post a video of them building the set, the arena.
Yeah,
I just want to see how big it is in there, what it looks like with that ring, because that is a big stadium. Um, I could see them beating the record this year for attendance easily, easily. I bet they'll beat it. Last year's I think was 74,000. I think. I'm not too sure, but I think it was like 70 something thousand last year. But it was awesome. I'd love to fly out honestly and go to a WrestleMania. If I had the money, man, I'd fly out to see all of them. Um,
I know that's right.
but yeah, I mean, I'm excited. It's WrestleMania season. Every promotion's got their big wrestling event coming up around this time. So that means we're gonna have big stuff coming up too during this time. We're gonna be really deep diving into all this. And these seriously, when we're really gonna deep dive into like WrestleMania and stuff like that, and just go crazy with it. So, like I said, we really appreciate y'all watching. As always, go watch our last podcast. Go watch our shows coming out tomorrow. We got another B&B show. Go watch the last two if you haven't seen them. Go watch all the stuff we got going on. Go watch our backyard class that just came out. Go watch Kuya Clayton's card video that just came out about the chops. Go watch Brady's The Vault. I mean, it's all on there. Go watch our other podcast episodes. Go listen to them on Spotify. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, though, because we will be live here, as always, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on the YouTube. We had technical difficulties today. That's not going to happen again. I don't know what was going on. But
From both ends.
yeah, that was just messing up. I don't know what happened, but we're all good now. So, Bear, if you'd like to say anything, go ahead.
Just like every time, I appreciate y'all listening. Um, hey, hit me up. I'm on Facebook at a Bear of a Wrestling Fan. Um, hey, please, please, please go support your local wrestling. Um, I got a chance last night, me and my fiance, and if you're in East Tennessee, please go check out KFW. They are tremendous promotion. Love them. Had a great time as always. But again, give support to your local promotion and just support wrestling. And if you hadn't subscribed to our YouTube channel, why not? You know we're going to give you great content, so do that for us.
Yeah, and if you that reminds me too, if you go to any one of these events that we're talking about, like if you live in the Tennessee area around that place and you go to one of those events, try to go find Bear. Go say what's up. I mean, we're not like I mean,
Man,
we're just wrestling fans like you. You know, we'll have a good conversation.
exactly,
We'll have a good conversation.
exactly.
Like there's not really any promotion because I have a way to look at all the promotions coming to my area. There's not any really coming right now, but whenever some do, I always talk about it on the podcast before. So if you are in the area and you're going, make sure you find me, say what's up. I am in the North Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth area. So every wrestling promotion around here I do go to, or I try to. I try my best. Um, I think the next one that's coming up here is until May 1st. So yeah, I'll be going there. So for Monday Night
And
Raw. So
I have a small request. If y'all going to these wrestling events, start taking the sign saying you down with the society.
oh yeah, that
We need y'all. We need y'all. We need y'all to start building us up. Because hey, you are part of us. Why not acknowledge it? Those I don't care what wrestling show you go to. I don't care what type of wrestling you like. Take a sign. You're a part of society. The Wrestling Network Society. Come on. I'm so caught up. I said our thing backward, but it's the Wrestling Society Network.
yep. And oh, excuse me. Yeah, like you said, I mean, if just bring your sign, try to find us. I always try to wear the podcast shirt to there. So if you see the shirt, say what's up. Because we'll have a good conversation. Really, it's not like
Oh yeah.
we're all wrestling. Like I said, we're all wrestling fans. We'll have a good conversation. We'll meet each other. We'll talk for a while. We'll have a good time. So, but like I said, we appreciate you watching. If you got any requests for us to do, make sure you drop it in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video, like all our other videos. Tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell your dog. Obviously, you always got to tell your dog. Um, tell your cat, man. Make sure you tell the cat. And as always, we appreciate y'all for being part of this society, and